Let me just mention a few things about that wood stove I have just purchased. But first of all, you need to understand that I'm not an expert with wood stove at all. That's the first one I ever purchased in my life. So if you think I'm saying or doing anything silly in this video, feel free to let me know in the comment section. I may not pronounce this correctly, but the brand is called Varnex. It's a 13 kilowatt unit with a cooker function. It is definitely a budget option. I have purchased this between Christmas and New Year on a discounted price, which I was very pleased with. Literally 2 days after that, they were selling that unit for about 33% more than I paid for. Like I said, I'm not an expert with wood stoves or any kind of heating at all. I just done a little bit of research myself and made my decision based on that. I knew if I'm going to contact professionals specialized on wood stoves and heating, they're going to talk me into something a lot more expensive than I was prepared to pay for. So I went down on that route. I bought this to heat my workshop, not my house. I don't need room temperature in here, just enough to work comfortably in the winter time. So this wood stove is mostly made out of sheet metal, I would say about 3-4 millimeter in thickness. The white stuff on the side of it is ceramic tiles. So it has kind of a heat exchange function, if I understood that correctly. There is a gap between the inside lining of the stove and the ceramic tiles on the outside. Probably, I don't know, 3-4 centimeters, I guess. It's sucking cold air in from the bottom and letting hot air out on the top. So after using this unit for a few days, I have realized a few things. Sheet metal is not the best material to make wood stove out of. Cast iron would be a lot better. My reason to say that is movement caused by heat. Cast iron would be a lot more stable than sheet metal. So after starting your fire and heating this thing up, in about 5 minutes, the various sheet metal parts starting to expand and move around a bit, which in my case has exposed a weak spot down to poor workmanship, I would say. The door handle on the front has broke off on day 2 because of that movement and stress in the sheet metal. The door handle is turning on a small shaft, which has been tack welded onto the sheet metal door with only 2 small spots with barely any penetration whatsoever. Now, you shouldn't be dealing with stuff like that on a brand new product. For me, it's not really a problem because I've got the skills and tools to fix that. No big deal for me. But for somebody who doesn't have the skills and tools, that is actually a serious reason to complain and return this item. I know I could go down the same route and return this wood stove myself, but I realize it's a lot more work for me to pull this thing apart, put it back in the packaging, put it back in the car, drive back, complain, get a replacement one, and I might not even solve any problem because this replacement unit also could have similar issues. So it's a lot of risk for not necessarily much reward. I find it a lot easier just to deal with the problem, fix it myself, and that's it, job done. I don't think there is anything on that unit, very simple unit, that I couldn't fix. Anything goes wrong with it, I'm pretty sure I can fix it myself. That's an insert or receiver. I'm not sure how do you call this properly. I had to cement these into the wall to secure it, let it dry and set, and next day I continued with installing the pipes. Now the correct size of pipes for the wood stoves are not the same as the size of the hole on the chimney. So I had to use a couple of adapters to reduce the diameter and make it fit basically. Now that's not causing any problem because you're going from a smaller size on the wood stove into a bigger size on the chimney. So that's not causing any problem with the draft or airflow in the system. In fact, it's the exact opposite. You will see at the end, when I start the first fire, I'll have extremely good draft in the wood stove. And I'm just marking the right height for the pipes, cut it to size, put it all together, and then it should be ready for the first test run. Now the pipes are done, I should be ready for a first test run. One more thing to mention about this wood stove or these type of wood stoves, it has some kind of fireproof paint or coating on the surface. When you make your first fire, it will smoke quite a bit on the outside and then smoke up your place basically. That's not very nice. I'll just open the shutter, let the smoke go out, and basically will stop after the first couple of times, and then it just stops smoking later on. In my workshop is not really a problem. For somebody in a house, I don't know, that could be not as nice. I don't regret my purchase. I think for my purpose it's gonna work just fine. If you're still here, thanks for sticking around. Please like and subscribe.